Hello Lomzy team, welcome back to my channel. I'm back again with another exciting sewing tutorial. I'll be sharing with you guys how to make this off-shoulder ruffle dress with gathered sleeve. If you're a beginner into fashion designing, or you are already a fashion designer and wants to be updated on trending designs, on how to make trending designs, this channel is your channel to be. Subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. I hope you guys are learning a lot from my tutorials. If you have anything you want to share with me, you can drop that in the comment section. And if you want to join my membership where I train how to sew in details, both for beginners and advanced, you can contact me from the About page or from the description section. I'll be dropping the links to my contact details both on social media and my WhatsApp number. So the very first thing we're going to be doing is we will have to determine the length of the dress. So I have to make it very easy for you so that you know how to go about your fabric, whether you want it to be a short one or you want it to be a long one. So I will have to make it easy for you. So what we have to do is full length of dress. You are like the way you measure it from your shoulder down. So full length of dress plus sewing allowance 2 inches. You know, the sewing allowance is for the fold and 1.5 for the hemming. So that is 2 inches. So assuming you want it to be a short dress and the length of the short dress is 40 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. The sewing allowance, 1/2 inch will be for this upper part and 1.5 will be for the hemming. So that's why I made it 2 inches. So this will be for the length of the dress. This is number one, what you have to get, number one, which is 42. Now understand, remember this is an off shoulder, but what we have here is the full length of the dress. No problem. So the next thing we have to determine is the length of this elastic, 1 inch elastic. So I want to add, instead of me for the casing, instead of me to make it 1 inch, I'll make it 1.25. So this will be 1.25 for my elastic casing. Then another thing I have to determine is the length of this this ruffles. The length I want it, if I want it to be very full, I can make it 3 inches or I can make it 2 inches. So let me make it 2.5 inches. For myself, I would like to make it 2.5 inches. So we have gotten the length of the elastic and the length of the ruffles, which is 1.25 plus 2.5. So that will give us 3.75. And remember, this casing and this ruffles have to have another fabric that will come inside. Like if you fold this, you have to fold this like so, and the elastication will be somewhere here. Remember, this elastic will be here and this will be ruffles. So this part you have to determine it again, and we'll have there, make it double the same thing. So I have to double the same thing I have gotten, 7.5, 7.5 inches, which will give us 7.5 inches. So all this will give us 7.5 inches. So we have to add 7.5 inches plus 42. So 7.5 inches plus 42 inches will give us 49.5 inches. This is the total of the yardage we need for this dress. But remember, this is an off-shoulder dress, so I have to remove whatever amount that we have for the off-shoulder. Assuming you want your off-shoulder to be 5 inches away. If you want it to be high, you take away 5 inches. If you want it to come lower than that, you decide what you want. So for me, I am going to be taking away 6 inches for my off shoulder. So when I take away that 6 inches, what I will be having is 43.5 inches. So this is the length of the dress I am working with, 43 inches. I hope you guys understand me. Yeah, so we have to begin. What we have, I will have to be working from the lower part up. What we have as the length of our dress is 43.5 inches, and I will mark that here like so. 43.5. Now we have our line where we are going to be starting from. So we are going to be adding all these things we have here. We are going to be adding the lines on this. So the very first line we have to add, remember when I was adding the initial one, this first one, I added 2 inches allowance, right? So that the 2 inches, half is for this upper part. So we are going to be adding ½ inch to the 3.75 we got, which will make it 4.25. And I'm going to be marking that out because that's the one that is going inside. So which is 4.25. I mark that there like so. The next line we have to get is the line for the ruffles and the elastic for this one, which is also 3.75. This time around there's no hemming allowance or any allowance to it, so that's why I'm making it 3.75. so I will have to go and mark that line 3.75. so this is the line where our off shoulder begins. So maybe I have to take this in so that you understand what I mean. Let me fold this way so that you will be able to understand what I mean. So we fold this in. So for us now, this is the off shoulder. So this is where we're going to be working from. We have our elastic in, we have every other thing. So this is where we're going to be working from. So I want to make it like this so that you'll be able to understand what I am doing. So normally our dress was supposed to be starting from here. But that 6, we said, I said I'm going to be using 6 inches for the off shoulder. So that is why I dropped this. My armhole depth is 10 inches. I am making it 10 inches because I want the armhole to be free. So I mark that there, 10 inches. So we are going to be working on the body now. We are going to be determining the measurement of the body. We don't need any other measurements. All you need is just the biggest part of the body. And the biggest part of the body we are working with is 46 inches. And that is our hip measurement. So we are going to be dividing that by 4 because I've already folded my fabric into 4. So we are going to be dividing that by 4. So 46 divided by 4 will give us 11.5 inches. And we add 2 inches to that, which will be 13.5. And then we have to add sewing allowance of ½ inch. Everything will now come to 14 inches. I hope you know why I added 2 inches to that. The 2 inches is for easing. You know, by the time you add your elastic, it would hold. That's why I added the 2 inches easing. If you want, you can take it down, but if you take it down, you're not using it for anything. So what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be working on the shoulder. So the shoulder we're using is 16 inches. and we add we divide that by 2, that will be 18, and we add 2 inches easing allowance to that, we'll have 10 inches plus sewing allowance, which will make it 10.5. So we mark 10.5 there like so. We added these 2 inches. By the time we elasticate it, it will hold. What we're doing is we're going to be joining this to get our armhole curve. So you join this for the armhole curve. So because we want this to have an A-line type of shape, instead of us to drop this to be straight like so, we make it this way. We add some inches below. So this is what we're going to be having. Also, I want you to note something. Whenever you're making this type of thing, always where you started, you measure to see if it's the same length with your what you have added. If it's the same length, you can leave it, but if it's not the same length, you trace it. And let me, like, say if I drop it somewhere like here, I have to trace this and it will give it a curve. But for here, it is okay. Here it's still the same length, so we are going to be using that. So I hope you understood what I explained. So this is what we have here, and we'll have to prepare this to cut it out. Let me remind you, this is where the off shoulder started, and this is where the casing started. So let me fold it again here. This is what will go in here like so. So I fold this in, and this is the ruffles plus the elastic casing. So I am going to be marking for the elastic casing now. So the elastic casing is 1.25, right? And I mark that there like so. This is the elastic casing, and this is for the ruffles. So we are going to take this up like so. So I am going to cut this out this way. So you are going to be notching this place. We are going to notch this place, and we also notch this place so that we know where our elastic casing will be. So I'm going to be notching that now. I will also notch this place. And I will notch this place too. This is where our ruffles would start from. So this line is where the off shoulder started. This is the line for the casing of the elastic. This is for the ruffles. When folded like this, we'll have this. So we'll be cutting for the sleeve now. And I folded again because this is for the 2 sleeve. I have 1 yard here, so I folded it in 2. If you want, you can make it 18 inches. That is half yard. But I want to use 1 yard so that I'll be able to gather it like that. So to make the sleeve is actually very, very simple. I'll be separating this. For off shoulder, the sleeve is a very simple one to make. If you want this to be wider, you can make it more, you can add more. If you want it to be smaller, you can reduce it. But for me, I'm using 1 yard for this. So what you just need to do is to place this on your sleeve, because this is where you're adding the sleeves to. So all you just do is to put it here like so. So you can imagine, if you want your sleeve to be smaller, you can make your sleeve to be smaller. So, but I'm making the sleeve to be here, 1 inch. So I just place this like so here and just trace off the same thing. That's all for the sleeve. So I'm going to be tracing this off, and I have my notches. So because I'm going to put the notches back there, so I just cut this off like so. And mark for my notch it. You notch it. We're going to be using this notch to prepare the off-shoulder ruffles. So this is it. This is for the sleeve. If you gather it, that's what you will have. You know, so what I am going to be doing now is I'm going to be marking for the pocket. Let me mark for the pocket so that I know where I'll be attaching my pocket. I have already made a video on how to attach a side pocket, so you go ahead and learn that. I will be dropping it in the description down below, so that you go ahead and check it out and watch how to make a side pocket. So from the armhole, I'm going to be dropping it down 8 inches. I am going to be notching this so that I know where I am going to attach my pocket. So the next thing I am going to be doing is to prepare for my off-shoulder ruffles. For you to do that, remember the notches we have. We are going to be using that now. So from here to here is what is supposed to go in like this, right? So you will go ahead and iron this out to give it a crease, so that when you're working, you will easily find out where you're working from. You give this a crease, give this a crease, and give this a crease. So when you do that, you also do that on your sleeve. I will do that and show you. So I have given it a crease. I'll be able to see where I'm working on now. There are 2 ways to get these lines. You can either use your iron and make a crease, or you can also use your chalk and mark it. It depends which way and what you want. But if you're marking it with your chalk, you have to mark on the front part, of this right side of the fabric, if you're using your chalk. So those are the 2 ways you can mark for it, either by ironing to give it a crease or by using your chalk. So whichever way you want to. So what we are going to be doing now is joining it. Let me show you how you're going to be joining this. This is the sleeve. So I have already cut out pockets. I cut it out from what I got That's where I cut this out. So I have already cut that. The first thing you do is to fix your pocket, and after fixing your pocket, you will now fix your sleeve. As it is like this, you fix this sleeve, right side facing together. You fix it and notch up your, you mark up your notches. You join this. This is for the front, and again you join the back. You join the back to this, front side facing together. You join this. So what you will have is something looking like this. This is what you will have after joining it, and you do the same thing to the other side. So I'll be doing this now on the machine and showing you. By the time I finish that, after joining this, I will have to hold my fabric and fold so that I can run thread here and run another thread here for my elastic casing. But when I am running the thread, you know, I'm going to run the thread on all of them. By the time I'm running it, I will leave space where I'm going to pass my elastic for. So let me do this, what I'm saying now, and show you what I mean. See, I have joined it like I told you, and I've also joined the pockets. Yeah. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and do so down below, because I upload detailed sewing tutorials every week. And you turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my. And if you want to join my membership where I train how to sew for beginners and advanced courses, you can contact me on the About page, or you reach me from the description section. I have dropped my link to my social media handle and my WhatsApp number, so you can reach me through there. So as you can see, I have folded this and I have made the channel for the elastic. And now, like I told you, that I have to leave a space. I have to leave a space for me to pass the elastic. Remember, it is only this first one that I did not sew. This second one I sewed everything all around, but only this place I left it so that I'll be able to pass my elastic. And I also did this to the same, to the sleeve. I also left space where I will pass my elastic. So you go ahead and pass your elastic. Let me show you. You just pass your elastic in here. I have added the elastic, as you can see. That's the elastic. So I'll just go ahead and close it and run a thread on that place. The same thing with this one. So I'll go ahead, close it, and close this place. And so that's it. I've added the pocket. So you go ahead and check how to add the side pocket in the description box. I will be dropping that in the description box down below. So thank you guys.